Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the DNVR Rapids podcast. I'm your host, Mitchell Carroll, a.k.a. Merchel, a.k.a. Remember when the Nuggets won last night? That was tight. Quite tight. It is a beautiful Thursday afternoon in the Mile High City, and we're chilling in Studio A. The whole gang's here, starting with, of course, Super Yaya.
It's deja vu.
We didn't just do this on another stream, so don't worry about it.
We didn't just do this 2 minutes ago, and I didn't say I was sad boy Yaya, Rapid sad boy Yaya, and happy Nuggets.
Wow,
Yaya.
you're sad boy Rapids Yaya. Wow, this is the first time hearing that.
There's gonna be a lot of yelling today. Just so everybody be
a lot of
aware.
yelling. It's gonna be a take-filled day. Join us for that take-filled day, known for his takes. Of course, the art director of ALLCITY Network, downtown Duane Brown.
Wow, I did not know I was known for my takes.
Known.
I apologize to everyone.
Known for your
Wow.
takes.
You now legally have to change how you spell your last name, by the way, to Braun.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
I'm down for.
Let's go.
That.
Let's go.
Hero
That's
Zero.
true.
That's my guy.
And joining us, you saw her on a post game already. Our former intern, Charlotte's here.
What up? Thanks for having me.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We got a lot to talk about today. Charlotte and Yaya went deep, really deep, on some transfer window targets coming up here soon. We're going to talk about this upcoming game in Orlando, what the health of the roster means at this point in time, how they're looking. Can we pull anything out of there? Who knows? I think we're going to have more fun talking about the rest of the stuff today, though. And first, there was a little bit of news, guys. Did you guys see the news in Major League Soccer?
Did.
Duane, did you see the news?
Is there news?
There was news this week in Major League Soccer, yeah. There was a pretty big news.
I can't wait to find out what it is.
Anybody?
Oh, was it about MLS changing its name to a retirement league?
Correct.
Oh, no. Did we get another old person from Europe that wants to come play here?
According
Yeah.
to everybody that watches the Premier League, yes.
Oh,
We
man.
have
He's
maybe-
probably not any good then. Probably didn't carry any teams to the World Cup or anything.
No.
Oh, just an old guy,
If
huh?
you didn't hear by now, little guy named Lionel Messi signs with Inter Miami. Big money deal, huge contract, $50 million a year. We're talking Apple revenue sharing, Adidas revenue sharing, future ownership,
Free snacks.
all the snacks he can get at a snack bar.
That reminded me a lot of that scene from 21 Jump Street. He's like, we're talking missionary. We're talking. That's what I thought you were going to go with.
More mission.
Yeah.
Look, it's obviously a huge deal, both for league exposure, for Apple's products getting out into the world, for the casual viewer appreciating more MLS soccer. I want to kind of just go around to the panel here, guys. What was your first gut reaction? Because on this podcast, we've said, what do you know, the last 5 Junes, we hear about Messi to the MLS. And the last 5 Junes, Messi to the MLS never happened. So I wrote it off completely. What went through your mind when we get the Fabrizio, here we go, the Tom Bogert, all of it? What was going through your head, Yaya?
Honestly, I was just like, yeah, seems about right. Like,
Right.
It just, like, at that point, it's like, you saw the smoke 10 miles away. Like, it's about time you got to the fire, and I'm glad it's finally over and it's put away. It's just going to be a lot of fun to actually hear Messi League Soccer instead of Major League Soccer from now on.
Messi League Soccer, correct. Duane, what was your gut reaction there?
Yeah, I don't feel like I was super surprised either. Like, I felt it's just been coming. And so it was just nice to, like, finally have the news drop and it be an official
Right.
thing. And now it's like we can enjoy it and see how that changes MLS, how it impacts, the league in general, which I think that's where, the big impact goes. And we'll see if or how that trickles down to
Sure.
some of the other teams.
Yeah.
So
And we'll get there.
I think it's exciting.
It's exciting.
I think it's great.
I think if
I'm
you're not
glad it's
excited,
happening.
you're wrong. This is exciting.
Agreed.
Charlotte, what was your first reaction when you saw the news come down?
I'm happy. I was
Of course.
happy. Yeah. I don't think I was surprised either, but doesn't mean I wasn't happy because I am. And, maybe yeah, maybe the Rapids will see it sometime. Not next year, maybe the year after. I don't
Maybe
know.
we'll see
I
Messi
don't
in
know.
Commerce City.
Yeah.
Look, it's funny he has to
dream.
come to Commerce City. I think it's even funnier he has to come to Columbus, Cincinnati, Ohio.
Whoa. Those places, that's not even a real place.
Exactly. And he has to go play soccer there. That's funny. Denver's at least, we have the
International
back-to-back MVP
airport.
and the team winning the NBA Finals right now. So this is a alluring sports destination, obviously. But, man, I mean, I want to kind of, now I think it's time to start talking about what Duane really brought up there, which is how long do we see the positives here, right? Because, I mean, the MLS, it's not like good players have never come to the MLS, right? Like, but this means now you have a guy like Messi there, right? That means, okay, maybe Busquets wants to make the jump, right? Maybe you see an Angel Di Maria. Maybe you see, and the more of those guys that jump over, whether it's to play with him or against him, all he does is legitimize that roster spot to me of, yeah, maybe the Rapids will be team 25 to 30 to get one of those guys. But it starts with those alluring markets grabbing. There's only so many marquee spots on a team, right? Guys do want to be the star, but they also want to play in the same league as Messi.
Sure.
So that means that whether it takes a few years, but the more those dominoes fall, all of a sudden the Rapids have to play ball like that.
So I'm laughing very much because I just saw a Vikings comment. He's going to play in NYFC on a baseball field sometime next year.
Well, yeah, next year, but by 2025 they'll have their stadium.
Yeah, but
right?
next year,
Yeah, sure.
that thought's even funnier than Commerce City.
Yeah.
Like him having to like drive by the dog smell, like the smell of dog food in Commerce City, then having to go play at a baseball field where soccer's not even pronounced. That's just insane to me.
It is insane. Look, it does none of this is real. All this is fake. All this money is fake. Miami lost money last year. They lost money last year.
Yeah.
They did not. This is not an organization that puts money into the bank account. It costs their owners money to exist. Now you're just throwing a $50 million, completely subsidized by the rest of the league contract into this, which that's its own issue. And maybe we can get into whether or not you think the rest of the teams should be paying for it. But it's insane. Like why? Like San Diego's paying $500 million just to exist without all the other fees of stadiums and rosters and all that stuff. They're never going to make that money back. All this money right now is fake. And you hope that that Messi coming and getting tangible, whether it's Apple subscriptions, ticket sales throughout the league, sold out stadiums on road games, et cetera, et cetera. You hope that the actual money catches up to this fake money.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's going to take. Because at some point, they're going to look around and realize that these new clubs aren't actually worth $500 million, which is like a top 6 Premier League team level, right? Like that's not, San Diego is not worth that. It's just not, right? So,
To me, this is how I look at it. Messi coming, it's people that were around for 2007 that saw Beckham come to the MLS, that were following the league back then, notice the dramatic change. The reason that MLS has improved as much as it has, and the reason that the MLS is where it is right now, is because Beckham came. It's because he created the
Correct.
Beckham rule,
Yep.
which is now, we know it as the DP spot, which
yeah.
it's now has created a lot more talent, it has created a lot more parity, and has brought in great players such as Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Gerrard. You've seen a lot of these dope dudes.
Zlatan.
You've seen a lot of these, like, Zaba, I mean. You've seen a lot of these great guys come into the league, and it's all because of Beckham. And we hate to admit it because a lot of MLS fans are very like, oh, MLS versus Europe. But it took a European coming into the MLS to push the MLS to the next level. Now with Messi coming, a bigger star, a little bit younger, I think, and in a way better shape, coming off a World Cup, coming off Champions League, like this dude is not. When Beckham came, he was injured, he was old, and he was barely playing games. It took him 2 years to get ready and adjusted. Now that Messi's here, the league is in a way better spot, way more talent. There's way more things you can do with him. So his impact is going to be so much greater. You're going to get 10 times of what you got with Beckham. And now we start thinking, what is Messi going to change in this league? We have the Beckham rule. Is salary going to go out the window? Our team's going to be owned by the actual owners and not by the MLS? What's going to happen at the end of the day? What is Messi's going to be lasting impact on this league?
I mean, that's a really good question. Do you guys want to jump into that? You both looked at me.
Go for it, Charlotte. Unless you don't have anything.
I feel like
you got something.
Well, I just feel like, at the base level, it sort of legitimizes the league, even if people don't want to think that. Him coming here gets people who say, like, no one cares about American soccer. It doesn't compare to Europe. It gets them to watch, and, that's something for teams like the Rapids, even if it's not, directly on the field at first. At least, you have people looking. I feel like that matters.
Look, I mean, just think about Apple TV subscribers in general. It's a very affordable package already, right? Do you think they had any European? I mean, I'm sure there were some, but like now all of a sudden, how you talk to soccer fans in America, they have a team in, say, Germany, and they pick a Premier League team, and then they watch their MLS team, right? Now there's going to be people in these other countries, in these other leagues, that are maybe interested enough to buy an MLS package because, I'm gonna root for Inter,
watch Messi.
or maybe I'm gonna root against Inter, and I'm gonna choose a team to root against, against Messi, right? And all of a sudden now, casual interest in the MLS in Europe, South America starts to build, right? And then that's when that floor raises, right? Because it's great to raise the ceiling with Messi, no doubt greatest player to ever play, no doubt greatest player to ever play in this league. How do you, that means the middle class has to grow with it, right? Your average MLS starter needs to improve. And just eyeballs alone, I think, can get that to the point where we're actually talking about a top league. I'm not saying now, I'm not saying in 2 years, but it's steps like this that push it there.
I think it's good for exposure because, kind of like what Charlotte was saying is, there's everybody who's always going to crap all over MLS because it's American soccer and it's not Premier League or whatever. I don't have time for Euro snobs. Like, if you want to enjoy MLS, then please come enjoy it. Like, pick a team that you like and root for them and enjoy it. Or pick a team that you hate and root for the other team and enjoy it. But I remember what MLS was like before Beckham. And I remember the difference that MLS took on as far as like general excitement when Zlatan came in. And, I've even seen the uptick in seeing the difference between having Apple coverage and actually being able to watch MLS versus having to pirate everything. And these steps are incremental to getting the general public in a country that is not a soccer country. And people are going to disagree with that. But again, I will point you to all of the other sports that dominate soccer in the ratings here in America. I know not worldwide. But as we, as soccer fans and MLS fans, try to gather more and more interest for soccer, these things help. Whether you're an Inter fan or you're a Rapids fan, it helps all of us. And I think that is a positive boost. The other thing that I think is critical for this is the timing. There's going to be a swell of interest for Messi playing in MLS for the next couple of years. And who knows what may happen within that time, like you were mentioning, Mitch, with other players coming in.
Sure.
And then we go right into the World Cup here to continue building off of that swell of interest. It's a good time for American soccer, and this is a great move to kind of kick off that wave of interest. So I'm curious to see how it works out, for American soccer in general, for interest in MLS. I don't know how or if it's really going to impact Rapids all that much. We can get into that. But I think this is a great thing. If you are a Rapids fan, this is a great thing for us because it gets people more interested in MLS and soccer in America. And maybe they choose Rapids because they're the closest team and they
or
can actually
because
do that.
They're watching in Serbia and we have a Serbian goalkeeper, or because they're, or because their grandma lives in Colorado and they like.
I mean, if you're in Serbia,
that's just how stuff works.
Like if you're in Serbia, you can watch Messi play against Illich. I mean, that's cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, like it's really cool. And the other thing you got to look at is some of these players, you're going to see an influx of players just not coming in, but also start leaving the league.
Right.
Let's see, somebody tunes in, let's see how Messi plays against Columbus.
Yeah.
They see a player on Columbus and they're like, "Holy, that dude could play in Europe." Let's snatch him up because it's low buy right now. It's going to happen all over the league. Interest is going to grow even more in the league, not just from fan base, but from a like trying to recruit fan base, because you're gonna be getting a lot more eyes on the game.
Absolutely.
And you're gonna start pushing for him. Cade Cowles already has teams trying to snatch him up before the price goes up even more. You think if he plays against Messi and he balls out, you're not gonna get the Liverpools, the Borussia Dortmunds, calling and being like, "Yo, like, how much does this 19-year-old dude cost that's running all over Messi and Inter Miami?"
Yeah, now it's not like Pepe going to Augsburg, right? It's player X going to Bayer Leverkusen and playing in a or RB Leipzig, or like these or Olympic Lyon, or like like you're gonna see you're gonna see better players go to better clubs over there. Not directly, but down the line based on this one move alone. Everything is just more eyes, better, more money. Again, I want to see the real money catch up to this fake money that is being thrown around, these insanely large numbers. But a guy like Messi is truly one of the very few needle movers. And it's crazy that it took this long, really, right? I mean, here's what's crazy to me. Even more crazier than that. And I want to see what you guys think. We kind of talked. I already know what you think. So we talked about this in the art hole yesterday. It's insane to me. And yes, I think this is a great deal for MLS. This is a great deal for everybody. It's insane he denied over $1 billion for 2 years of soccer to me to go play in Saudi Arabia. Insane to me. Insane.
I think he's smarter. He's smart because he's not just looking at his investments right now. He's looking at the future investments, getting stocks on Adidas, getting stocks on Apple.
Couldn't he do this at 37 instead of 35 and go make $1 billion in between?
No, because the MLS is not going to want a 37-year-old. They're not going to give him the
They
same
will want
offer.
a 37-year-old Messi.
Again, I think they're just not going to be looking for because they want to shed the retirement league thing, and bringing in a 35-year-old is one thing. It's like, okay, he's old, but he just won a World Cup. At 37, he's not coming off a World Cup. He's coming off an even worse league than the MLS. Are they really going to be looking at him like, hey, can he generate as much money as he did at 35? So I think he would still get some sort of the same deal, but not the same amount. He would not get these huge stocks in both companies.
Yeah, but $1 billion can buy you a lot of stocks.
It can buy you a lot of stocks.
$1 billion can buy you a lot.
He's already rich.
But it's also the branding of it. Like, the U.S. will help his brand a lot more than going to Saudi Arabia. Unfortunately, Cristiano's brand went down a bit when he went to Saudi Arabia. And it's not because
but his bank account didn't. And
no,
that's my point.
It didn't. But like, that's what I'm saying. Future investment. Sure. If you grow your brand, he will become the face of the 2026 World Cup.
Yep.
That's the guy that when he shows up, he's going to be ambassador of that World Cup. He's going to say, hey guys, this place is great. This World Cup should be here more often. Because the U.S. is bidding for another World Cup in 2034, I believe. So they're already trying to get to 8 years away. Like, they're trying to get another one, the Women's World Cup. Having an ambassador like Messi, who is considered the greatest player of all time, it's going to be easy for the U.S. to snag these a lot more than anybody else.
I actually do agree with you. I just wanted to throw it out there.
Yeah, man.
Also,
Literally, there was over $1 billion for 2 years
already.
Of
It doesn't matter.
You're right. And his family loves Miami. He's in Miami
he already
all the time.
lives in Miami.
His old PSG teammate, Neymar, was sitting courtside last night in Miami.
His wife can drive a car.
That's something
in America, in the United
true.
States. Like, it's just a happier way of life for his family. Like, there's so much. Like, the dude's already rich. Like,
yeah, that's true.
It's like D-Line and I were talking, with Mitch about it, and D-Line basically said, it's like going to jail for 2 years for $1 billion. Whereas he's already
jail
rich.
with a mansion
Now
and a
for
pool
me,
and-
for me, would I go to jail for $1 billion? Well, I don't have any money right now, so that's an intriguing possibility for me. But if I'm Messi and I already have all of the money and I'm Scrooge McDuck diving into the pool full of gold coins every day, like I don't. What's another $1 billion when like Yaya's saying I can increase my brand. Which is going to make more money, but more importantly, my family can be happy, and live in Miami and go to the beach and be sunny and like not worry about all of the rules and everything, and just be a happy Messi.
Look at Beckham. He came out in a Modern Family. He started doing cameos on TV shows.
Totally.
TV shows that make no offense to England or Spain, they don't make the same amount of money because America's a marketing.
Yeah, and there's just more viewers. Yeah,
exactly. Like, that's all it is. that money, when you have Beckham in Modern Family, when you have all these, who knows? We might see Messi come out in a South Park episode,
Abbott Elementary or something.
Who knows? Like the new Ted Lasso spinoff is gonna have Messi in Kansas City doing some dumb stuff. Like just his branding grows so much bigger.
Let's wrap this up. Let's get to a couple more signings real quick before our first ad read. But just to kind of wrap it up and talk about Mark's point here. Look, there's no direct line from Messi signing to Rapids being better, right? At the end of the day, that's going to fall on Porg Smith, Robin Fraser, Fran, the whole scouting department, Kroenke, right? But the more increased pressure, right? Miami is a bottom feeder and has been until now, right?
Yep.
And by next season, they will be 1,000%.
They are
1,000%
cup
in
contender.
the contender conversation solely by having Messi, right? And that means another good team completely jumps them. And I know everyone thinks that they don't care about the Rapids, but no one likes being the worst, right?
Yeah.
All this does is force them to either live with this low line floor or just get a little, like, even if it's marginally better, just to keep pace, because they are not going to want to be at the bottom for a long time.
You said it best, man. I mean,
like, yes,
year,
it doesn't. Yeah. There's no direct line to helping the Rapids. It hurts the Rapids in terms of competition because they're now probably the worst team in the league right now. But all it does is the better the league gets, the more it forces the worst teams to be better.
It brings up the floor.
It's better marketing for the Rapids. Like, he doesn't play for the Rapids, but again, you have to look outside the pitch and outside the players. And a lot of people are just very focused on, I'm a season ticket member and it doesn't do anything for me. Well, I'm a season ticket member. I have been for almost 10 years now. And it's like, I get that, but it's like, you have to look bigger than that. And you look at all of the, the folks that are here in Colorado, maybe they're looking for a team in the off season of all of the other sports. The Nuggets are done winning their championship. What am I going to do now? Like, I can go watch the Rockies, which, debatable there. Or I can go watch the Rapids, also debatable right now. But it gives me something to do to go outside. And so maybe I'm going to go watch the Rapids because there's all this news right now about MLS. I'm going to go check out a game, and maybe we gain fans from that. I don't know what the Apple deal is, if it's a fixed price point that the league gets or if it's percentage wise based on subs, but I do think subs are going to go up significantly with the Messi signing. And if it is product, and if it's percentage wise, that's great for all teams,
right. Yeah, and I don't want to keep going around in circles on this just because we got plenty to get to today, but
yeah, I'm just saying there's an indirect.
There's lots of
There's not a direct as far as what's on the pitch. Mm-hmm. There is an indirect advantage that all teams, including the Rapids, get, which may improve what happens on the pitch. We don't know. It remains to be seen how this is going to affect the Rapids. But it is going to affect the Rapids.
My real quick thought on this is you can be excited about Messi being in the league. As a Rapids fan, you don't have to care. Like, you really don't. Yeah. He's in the East Coast. You'll see him maybe once in the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
It'll just be fun to know that he's here. That's literally all it is.
All it does is make the league better. Mm-hmm. Period. End of story.
I don't know how much it will help the Rapids, but at least it'll be fun.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
Texas Viking man, you can choose to be as pessimistic and confirmation bias on a bad season as you want, but it's not a bad thing for the Rapids. This is 100% a good thing. Things are not permanent. Being at the bottom of the league does not mean you're at the bottom of the league forever. Teams fluctuate all the time.
I mean, with the Rapids, and it's not because of anybody in that front office or the coaching or the pitch. It's all ownership. But we'll get into that in a minute.
That's its own thing.
Yeah, well,
that's its own thing. I'm not getting into a who's the most miserable about being a Rapids fan competition here. So if you want to roll like that, by all means, I'm not going to tell you not to. You're justified.
I cried at the last game, so it might be me.
I think it's going to be
Charlotte cried.
All right, let's get into our own summer targets really quick. Yeah. We've been talking about...
Do you want to do an ad read first?
No, I want to get your takes real... We only have 2 ad reads, so we can go a little longer.
Okay. We'll do a third segment.
Yeah, we'll just do them... No, I have 2. Oh, you're right. Let's do that first. I've been harping on everybody doing this. But you're right. Let's do it right
Thanks, Eliza.
Okay. DNVR Locker, Father's Day sale. Buy one, get one. Half off all shirts and hats. If you order by Monday, I guarantee guarantee I will get your dad his presents on time if you order your shirts by Monday. Buy one, get one half off all shirts and hats across the whole locker. Broncos, Rapids, Rockies, Nuggets, Avalanche, Buffs, everything. Rams. Did I miss anything? DNVR. We got our new golf polo in there. All that stuff. This is our usual deal we have only here when you're at watch parties. We did it for everybody. Take advantage. It doesn't get cheaper than that. And that's just, that's that. Buy one, get one half off. From now through next Sunday, that means if you just want to take advantage of it and get Nugget shirts at a good price, do that.
Yeah, doesn't have to be for dad.
Doesn't have to be for dad.
Yeah.
It should be for dad. It doesn't have to.
It doesn't have to.
But what I'm saying is...
I'm a dad, and I want you to be happy. If you want to get a Nugget shirt for yourself,
what I'm saying is, for every game that your dad took you to as a child, you owe him a DNVR t-shirt. Boom. How about that?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
That's right. That's good. All right.
Thank you.
That's in the small
Thank you.
text.
Appreciate it,
Also,
Dad.
let's talk about the homies over at Shady Rays. The homies. Oh, here it is. Look at that. Oh, yeah. What a guy. Look at him. You look good in those Shady Rays. Yeah, yeah.
Being on set with sunglasses, remember when I was hammered on the LAFC game?
That was a good time. Shady Rays, take on the sun with gear built to last. Our friends have you covered for the warm weather ahead with premium polarized shades at an affordable price. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that offers a world-class product that's just as good as any expensive pair we've worn. Durable frames and extremely clear optics for outdoor adventures. That's not all. Shady Rays offers the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost or broken replacements. If you lose or break your pair, even on day one, they told us they will send you a brand new pair. No questions asked. Wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after you purchase. Together with their customers, Shady Rays is providing much needed support to nonprofit partners across the U.S. through Shady Rays Impact. That's building playsets for pediatric cancer patients to providing young adults with MS the outdoor adventure of a lifetime. Shady Rays is making an impact in your community and others like it now and for years to come. You can shop the entire collection at their brand new location, Park Meadows Mall, a full stop shop for all things Shady Rays. If you don't love your Shady Rays, exchange for a new pair, return them for free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com. Use code DNVR. 50% off 2+ pairs polarized sunglasses. Try yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people.
10 out of 10 Rapids.
10 out of 10 Rapids. We doubled the Rapids. Doubled them. They used to be out of 5. Now it's out of 10.
With all this
Love it.
moisture, of course it's going to double.
All it. Jesus Christ. This is the best show ever. All right. It's summer transfer time. We've seen a couple moves already happen here. Of course, the big one to me, and the guy that you and I have been talking about for 18 months or so, Chicho Arango to RSL.
I am pissed. I am annoyed. I can go on literally for the rest of the show how that's the dumbest move in history and why I'm pissed about that RSL got it. When the Rapids could have got him for $2 million GAM last offseason. And it makes me so mad because Chicho Arango would have been that guy that could have come in and helped the Rapids turn things around. And maybe, who knows, he might have been your Zaba. He might have been the guy that pushes you to the next level. He might have been your Jamie Tart. You'll never know now. Because now he's out in RSL. Now he's playing for the worst state in all the U.S. And that's including Florida. And Florida sucks.
Yeah.
Now you're out there in Utah in the fake Rocky Mountains. Like, what's so fun about that? And I hate so much that Chicho gets to wear the red and not the burgundy.
It's a bummer. It's a huge bummer.
More than a bummer. It's a disappointment.
And that he should have been the guy instead of Giassi last summer, and it just drives me crazy that it wasn't.
He should have been the guy instead of Cabral, honestly.
Well,
Because he was up for grabs for $2 million GAM this
And he went
last
to Pachuca,
offseason.
yeah.
And nobody wanted to pay up to $2 million in funny money. Like, that's not even real money. It just comes off like.
so he jumps to Liga MX.
And then you have to pay
Bye-bye.
$7 million to get him
They
back.
triple their investment in 6 months.
It's dumb. It's
So-
stupid. Hate it. I hate myself, and I hate that I even thought it was possible.
It's terrible. So our guy, our homie Charlotte, they went deep on some targets. They went talking about potential targets, potential strikers. We were going to call this the striker show, but I think it's more just the target show.
It's more target midfielders because there's some 10s, there's some wingers involved. But I'm gonna let Charlotte start off. She's nodding, she's shaking her head no because I'll start off.
Why don't we pull up the graph?
Let's pull up the graphic
what we're going to talk
first.
about. Yeah.
It's the one with the graph on it, right? The first
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, bar graph first. Yep.
So there's some names on here. There's maybe one huge name that everybody recognizes, which is Raul Jimenez. We split these up into 3 different segments. It's the I wish, the boom kind of realistic, and then the Moneyball. Let's see if we can get something out of these guys.
Okay,
And
so for the audio listeners, walk us through some of these targets right here.
so
So are we going to hit the dream scenarios
yeah, the
first?
dream scenarios first. So
It's nice to dream.
it's nice to dream. It's going to be Raul Jimenez. We all know him, Mexican international. Might leave on a free transfer. He's not going to be in Wolves anymore. Then you bring in Roger Guedes. I think that's how you say his name. Brazilian. Plays
If you
for
want to
Santos.
jump to that next one.
Plays for Santos out in... is it Santos? No, Corinthians out in Brazil. Another player that I really like. Then you come to Fran Navarro, a Spanish player that I'm also very interested in. These guys are a little bit more expensive. And then Simon Banza. None of these guys are worth less than about 7 million euros.
It's a lot of money.
Raul Jimenez is around 9 million. The one reason I would like Raul Jimenez here in the Rapids is mainly because of marketing. We were just talking about how marketing can change a team. Brings money in, brings people to the pitch, and it gets people interested in the game. And that's something Raul Jimenez can definitely do. That's a player that I'd be interested just for that one reason. I think he hasn't been great. He's been kind of scoring goals
Poor Duane.
for over a year.
Yay.
But the thing about him is I think if he plays to a lower level of competition and he's not going to play in the Premier League where he has elite defenders on him every single time, I think he can actually create some goals. I think he can help the Rapids out.
Sorry, it's so funny.
No,
dude.
it is really funny because
Poor Wolves. I feel so bad for them.
you look at Raul and you're like, he hasn't scored a goal in over a year. He scored actually 2 days yesterday against Guatemala and Mexico.
Yeah.
So he's been decent. He's not the same player he once was, but
I don't think he's been decent.
Well, he's been decent.
As someone who's watched most Wolves games, he's not been great. I don't know that translates to MLS. He could be much better. Wolves play a very similar style to Rapids in the sense that they bring it in on the wings and then kind of punch the ball over to the middle. So, I mean, it works for Raul really, really well. But, you know, the dude's head got cracked open. He's not been the same since. And, you know, maybe a change of scenery brings him back to former glory, because when he was on before the injury, man, it was amazing to watch him play for Wolves. So.
Yeah, and a lot of it was he was injured too. Like he got that huge crack in his head. And my interest is Charlotte is a money ball. She's into stats. What's your opinion on Raul Jimenez?
Yeah, I know it's like dream transfers, and I know Moneyball hasn't exactly worked for the Rapids recently, but Moneyball is like, you know, how do you win games with goals? So you're buying goals from the player. And so it's like, how much are you going to pay for one goal? You're going to pay,
Paying
you
a
know,
lot right now for not a lot of goals.
yeah, exactly. It's like 2 point
For the fewest goals in
something
the
million
league.
euros for a goal. And it's like, can they really afford to do that right now? I feel like, I know like that's how ultimately, you know, you get more press, you get more hype around the team with these guys, but like, I don't know. Can they do that right now? I don't know. I feel like that's
great marketing piece. I'm not sure it's winning and scoring goals is also a good marketing.
I also know he's going to be a lot
it's-
cheaper because he is leaving Wolves.
He needs to carry on the Wolves tradition.
Yeah, like it's a Wolves player. Like why not? Like he
Wolves,
knows Ronan
North
probably.
America
Yeah, like
is Colorado.
But like again, it's for
We've had
me. It's
some great
more.
Wolves.
It's more like if you're already gonna do Moneyball, might as well spend it on a guy that maybe in the last couple of years he doesn't have a proven record, but before that he does. Gonna bring people to the seat, and maybe who knows, we get a good season because it's lower level competition, and you're not playing against the elite defenders in the Premier League anymore. You know, and that's kind of what if you do this kind of move, that's what you're banking on.
All right, let's move on to that next. Let's kind of start flying through this list here.
Roger Guedes. That's another one that I really like. He's a. Oh, we're not going through each one individually.
Well, yeah, okay, but before we
Just
got
real quick.
yeah.
Roger Guedes, another guy. He's a left winger. He can play a 10. I would personally target the 10 more than I would the winger.
Me too.
But I really like him. I think he's fast. He creates a lot of separation. And I think he'd be a good fit on the Rapids. Next one would be Fran Navarro from Valencia. He's only 25 years old, and that's the sort of player that you should be kind of targeting, a 25-year-old that can come in. He's around 7 million euros, I think, 7 or 8.
Sure.
8, yeah.
And that's a player that would kind of come in and really I think, make an immediate impact again. He plays a little bit more of that 10 role, but he also plays striker.
Sure.
And this season, he has 21 goals in all appearances.
Sure.
In all competitions. And some of my numbers are a little outdated because we were supposed to do this like 3 weeks ago.
Sure.
But he has 21 goals in all competitions, and I think that's somebody that can come in and really help out immediately.
Sure.
And lastly, in that kind of dream scenario, you got 26-year-old Simon Banza. He's a French from he plays for what's his team?
SC Braga.
SC Braga. Another guy that plays striker. He's a straight striker. He has 14 goals in all competition.
Love it.
And I think he's the guy that can
Sign me
come
up.
in and create even more.
Goals?
Again, I never
14 goals. That's how many Rapids. That's how the Rapids
Goals?
have all season.
Exactly. And that's in the first division of the French league. That's a guy that I think if you bring him into the MLS,
Yeah, of course.
lower level competition again, that can compete, and maybe he's
Sure.
your Hani Mukhtar. Maybe he's your Jerusi. He's that kind of guy that
Yeah.
can just help create some more money, chances.
All right,
So
let's jump to that.
Before we jump out of this dare to dream pile, between for Yaya and Charlotte, I don't know enough to make a judgment. Between for you two, which one's your favorite out of that list?
Navarro.
Real fast. Navarro?
Navarro, I love
Okay.
Navarro. For me, it would be Banza.
Yeah, I
From
think so too.
the French league. I think it's just a little cheaper. I like what he brings to the pitch a little bit more. But Navarro's they were the two ones that I couldn't decide between.
All right, let's move on to the stuff just got realistic transfer target list there.
That just got kind of realistic. For those audio listeners, you got Gustav Isaquin, Sebastian Ferreira, Derlis Gonzalez, and Ayo Akinola. I think this is a place where the Rapids could really take advantage of. If you want to dip your foot back into the Danish league, and you got Maxu, you got a 22-year-old right winger who scores goals and creates chances.
This is Isaacson.
Gustav
Isaacson?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gustav Isaacson. Dude has 22 goals. Keep in mind, as a right winger,
Right.
He's not playing.
He's at
center
Midtjylland,
forward.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he cuts in a lot. I think he's a player that can again disrupt a lot of defenses. He's only 22 years old and he's around 5 million euros. So if you want a guy that might or might not make it into the top 5 league, there's a guy that you can definitely look at, and he's going to bring a lot to the table. Right after that, we have Sebastian Ferreira, the Houston Dynamo Dynamite, who's on the bench.
Yeah.
He's been having a tough time breaking into the starting 11 with their new coach.
Yeah.
I believe the DP. He's played all over North America. He's also played all over South America. And this is an inner league thing. So you could probably get him for GAM, and I think he's a good player, and he can really fill out that leadership role where he can become your guy. So I don't know what you guys think about Sebastian Ferreira. We've seen him more in the MLS. Charlotte's shaking her head. That's her guy.
Yeah. I want him.
Sebastian Ferreira, I think, is the most realistic guy, honestly.
I think it's a great move. I mean, look, if we're talking classic Rapids MO, that's distressed asset as it gets. I mean, seriously, he's sitting on another team's bench, not getting the minutes he needs to develop. So I'm surprised he's already not a Rapid.
Mitch really summed it up there.
Yeah. No, it's true. That's the reason I put him in, because this was a few weeks ago again.
Yeah.
But it's another guy that brings a lot of talent. I'm surprised I have 2 Paraguayan players on the list. And the
Taking over, dude.
Yeah, and the next one is literally Derlis Gonzalez. This guy is another guy that can play all over the front 3.
Sure.
Center forward, the 10, left or right. There's a guy that's super versatile. I really like him. Again, really quick. Trying to keep up that. I'm trying to bring in that speed.
Force Frazier to play pork ball.
Exactly. Like that's and he's also like he's played in Europe before, so he's been around. He's played in the Ukraine. He was in Benfica. Dude
Right.
has experience. He can another player that can disrupt the opposing defenses. This year he's kind of gone down a little bit. But he is scoring a goal every 2 games, which is more than any Rapid.
Sure.
So if you have that on the Rapids, you have 16 goals at the end of the year.
There you go.
Which is tied for the Rapids record. So that's another guy I really enjoy.
Perfect.
What do you think, Charlotte?
Yeah, I like him. I like Ferrer, I think. I mean, yeah, I like all those realistic guys. I think I like them more than the dream guys, to be honest. I don't know. They're realistic for a reason, you know? I think they'd be good additions. Just, need goals and, see if they can score. Bet they can more than, right now. So.
And again, that's the reason I bring him in here, because I think these are guys that will actually contribute and not break the bank. Mm-hmm. The last one on the list is the guy that we all love and know and has been rumored to leave Toronto constantly. That's Ayokinola. He has 9 appearances so far in the MLS. He's kind of lost his starting spot, but he's slowly but surely getting back to the starting 11 in Toronto. Young guy, a guy that I think can really come in and help out the Rapids too. Kind of keep up with that whole youth, distressed athlete kind of thing again. And I think Ayo would be cool. Pair him up with his fellow Canadian Bombi and have a little Canadian off. See who's the best Canadian on the squad. So out of those 4, which one to me is Gustav. That's the guy, because he's 22 years old. I think he was 2 weeks ago. He was leading the Danish league in scoring, and he's a right winger, and I would enjoy that very much.
Sure. Look, I think any of those targets are good. Frere would probably be my choice. Let's jump into your most likely to happen, and let's kind of rapid fire these bad boys.
These are gonna go into these are money ball moves all the way through and through. These are moves that the Rapids would actually do. We start with Ode Dakba. I think I say his last name.
I think it's Daba.
Daba. He has so far this year he's played 14 games and has.
Where is he at?
He
FC
is
Aroca.
He's FC Aroca, and he's in I think it's Saudi Arabia.
Got it.
I think that's where he's playing right now. He's only worth $1.5 million. Mm-hmm. So it would be up there for the Rapids, not up there for the league.
Sure.
He's a guy that has played 21 games this year and has scored 11 goals. Again, lower competition. We would want to see that if he can come up to the MLS and see if he can keep doing the same thing. But he's on the taller side, so I think he'd be great for headers, especially because the Rapids love to play on the wings. If you can throw the ball into somebody that can score a goal, that'd be really fun. And I think we would all enjoy it quite a bit.
Sure.
Next up, and it was mentioned on the comment, it
was Julio Church.
Julio
Of course
Furch.
is going to be into Julio Furch.
Yeah, Julio.
It rhymes.
Yeah, Julio Furch, dude. Dude is a winner. You know how we talk about Christian Brown? That's how Julio Furch is in the Liga MX. Dude just wins. Everywhere he goes, he leaves a trail of trophies. And I think that's a guy that can come in and really help the Rapids get right mentally more than anything. Again, worth 1.5. He's 33, and he's Argentinian. So there's some connection there with Rubio and Gabon. And I think that would really help out. That South American connection.
Love that.
Next one.
I mean, and look, that's where this scouting team and this front office staff has had a ton of success. Between Chile, Argentina, Colombia, Brazil. I think that's where I think they're going to make their hay. If they do find the kind of diamond in the rough guy, is going to be from South America.
Yeah, and I think that's where the league is starting to look at more than anything.
Oh yeah, I mean you have to.
The next one we have is Ivan Jaime. He's a 22-year-old Spaniard. He plays in the second division of Spain. He plays for FC Famalicão. I think that's how you say that.
Oh, geez.
It was a harder name than I expected. Again, 1.5 million. Dude plays left, the 10, and central midfielder. So you can pair him with Ronan, or you can pair him with Bassett, or you can just move Gavon around and have him play both wings as well.
I like that.
He's not a goal scorer, but he is a creator. He doesn't have a lot of assists, but he will disrupt offenses.
Also,
And I knew that was going to happen immediately.
I'm out.
But if you have a guy that can create chances, I think that opens up people like Gavon and Bassett, and even if Rubio sticks around, that's the sort of guy that I would like.
Yeah.
33 appearances, 11 goals, also not bad. That's kind of an MLS season, and that's up there for an MLS season.
Sure.
So, and then after that, we have probably my favorite player on the whole list. It's a 19-year-old Ernest Nauma. That's how you say it. Nuama? Nuama.
Yeah.
He's a left winger primarily. Plays the 10, but can also play the right.
Love it.
He's only 19 years old. He plays in Ghana, I believe, still. Oh, no, Danish league as well. He's worth 1.5.
Yeah, he's at Nordseland.
Yeah, the only issue with him is that he might be looking to make a jump to a top 5 league more than he is looking to make it to the MLS. He has 15 goals in all competitions and 34 appearances, which is not bad, again, for a 19-year-old in a European league. And the very last option is Rafa Mujica. He's a 24-year-old, which, again, that's who you should be targeting, 25, 24 years old, that can stay in the MLS and will be your centerpiece. A number 10 in a striker that can cause a lot of chaos. He has 14 goals and 32 appearances this year. He plays in Portugal, and he's like on the cheaper side. He's only 600K. So that's a move that I think if Frazier and Porig don't want to spend a lot of money, I think that's the sort of guy that they're gonna go for.
Sure.
A guy that has proven in the Portuguese league that he can create things. So if the most realistic of all of them, I think it's that one. He's played in Leeds U21. He's been in Palmas. He's been in Barcelona B. He's been all over the place.
Yeah.
So there's a guy that's well traveled, and I think a guy that could actually be kind of like a poor man's Ricky Puig.
Love that. But I mean, I'm sold. Forget anything. If I said no earlier, I'm saying yes now. 100%.
Saying yes to every single one of them.
A Ricky Puig comp is I'm sold.
It's more the Ricky Puig comp of what he can do than actually, like, not his tactical skills. But
that's fine. I'm
like just the striker version I can.
Come on, I'm in.
What do you think, real quick, Charlie? Which one would you go with all of them?
All of them.
top 2.
Okay,
We'll
top
expand
2.
it for you.
I think Ferreira is a top 2 for me.
Okay.
And I think if you're going full money ball, which is like I don't know.
Which is the most likely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then Mujica for sure, because how much are you paying for one goal? I think
He'd
I
be
like
about
him.
as cheap as it gets
Yeah.
per goal. I want to shout out our guy, Judgmental Jim, because he's been throwing out this Jason Cummings guy.
Yep.
He plays for Central Coast Mariners in the A-League in Australia, and I dove in, and I did not want to climb out. I'm in. Jim, that is perfect. He'll leave on a free. He scored 28 goals in the A-League. He's played in Scotland. I'm in. Jim, I got you, dude. I got you. I'm in. All the way.
Yeah, I mean, I believe him. He watches soccer. This is just me watching a lot of dumb soccer around the world. And these are players that I like that were like, ooh,
absolutely.
He has something I liked.
Mujica, too, I think is a great pull. No, you guys nailed it, I think, on all of those.
We went all the way to the second division of the Spanish league. And I had Charlie right before I leave vacation. I'm like, Charlie, just put all these guys in the list and see what he comes up real quick.
Yeah, great job, guys. Seriously. Who knows what we're going to see? At this point, last year, kind of out of the blue, we got a Giassi Zardes, which was, probably more of a marketing-driven, jersey sale-driven trade, more so than just a direct goal trade. You know what I mean? Like, there's layers to bringing in a guy who's played for the U.S. men's national team to your MLS team, right?
Yep.
So do we see them go that route where it's a marketing play? Do we see them go money ball and try and buy goals as cheaply as possible? My guess would be to lean to the right, but we've seen Kroenke go the other way and say, go get me a name guy that I can sell to American fans, right? So, who knows? Who knows what we'll see? I'm sure everyone will be very happy about it and agree on the job that was done by the front office.
I think the more you look at it, I think the guy that has to come in and actually play for the Rapids has to be Sebastian Ferreira. I think that has to be your target.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, he plays everything you want. He's a goal scorer.
Interleague guy. Can play around the formation, which we've seen is necessary this year.
Don't do the Chicho thing and let him leave for a bunch of money, and then you have to buy him back for a bunch of money.
For even more money. Be the one that sells the next one for more.
Exactly.
Yep.
Get the funny money out of your pocket and give him GAM. Like, you don't need that much GAM if you're buying interleague players that aren't working anymore. Kevin Cabral was a waste of GAM.
Look.
And I love Kevin Cabral. Great guy. Great guy. Kevin Cabral's a great guy. Love him as a person.
Yeah.
Just the way he plays has not worked out.
Yeah. Hey. Snaps for my guys. Great job.
I mean, all credit really goes to Charlotte. I ran through all of them.
Lifting, yeah.
But Charlotte did all the heavy lifting on this.
Hire Charlotte to do your stats.
Yeah.
I actually might have to.
Yeah.
I might have to just like send her everything.
Personal assistant. Yeah.
Let's go. All right, guys, we're going to jump in real quick. We got a healthy team. Maybe? Question mark. What does it mean for us in Orlando? But first, we have to talk about Illegal Pete. Oh, man. I got so excited. I coughed there.
He got some illegals and Pete's in his mouth.
I actually had Illegal Pete's for lunch today. I walked right down the street, got my usual bowl. It was great. Illegal Pete's is your go-to spot this summer. Are you ready for the longest happy hour round, Duane?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah. What about you?
I love it.
How long is
I'm
it?
ready. I'm
You're
just kidding.
ready?
Well,
Not yet.
No. She's ready for
What
What about
about
the
you?
producer
enjoy
Alyssa? Are
it.
you ready for the longest happy hour?
yes, let's go.
Let's go. 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. every day.
That's 5 happy hours.
That's 5 hours of happiness at Illegal Pete's. All 12 locations. That's all the ones in Denver. That's in Boulder. That's in Fort Collins. That's in Arizona. That's how you do it.
Don't die, please.
I'm sorry. I'm recovering.
We need co-host on this show.
I'm on the mend. I swear. That's 5 hours for all their usual fan favorite deals. So stop by after work and enjoy a few extra marks on the patio at happy hour price. There's no better way to kick off your summer. Oh my God. A few extra margaritas is dangerous. Drink those responsibly, please. And don't forget to stop by Illegal Pete's on Nuggets game days. Wear your Nuggets gear into any Illegal Pete's location and grab a house margarita or draft beer for free with the purchase of an adult entree. Let's go Nuggets. Bring it in. And you know, right now, it's buy one, get one half off at the DNVR locker. So you can get 2 Nugget shirts for cheap. And then
That's
go
2
get a free
drinks.
margarita at Illegal Pete's when you get your burrito on. Let's go. Shout out to the homies at Illegal Pete's.
Mitch's Pete's tip of the week.
Okay, this one is a recent discovery. Somehow post working there for a decade. Recent discovery. I always scoop my bowl with my bag of chips that they give at Illegal Pete's. They don't charge you extra for like at Chipotle or the
Reverse
not
nachos,
the
yeah.
worst place.
The fake Colorado location.
Fake, exactly, correct. They're a California company. But then you get to the end of your bag, right? And there's like the little crumblies of tortilla chips and salt and all the goodness. Dump that bad boy right on top of your bowl. Mix it in. And now you got crunchies and little salt bombs inside your delicious Illegal Pete's bowl. And it is so good.
This sounds like a Fritos thing that you do with like chili dogs.
Essentially. Yeah, put your bowl into your chip bag. I'm just kidding. We love you, Illegal Pete's. Get your Nuggets gear from me. Go down there, get a free margarita. Boom. Okay, we're moving on. This is, and I'm not kidding, this would tie for the smallest injury list before a game of the season with 4. 4 total players, including Max, removed from team activities, including Price, out with his Achilles, including Abe. Rubio is questionable, but he practiced in full, according to our guy, Brendan Plone at the Denver Post, who is out at training today. Yappy, back, training in full today, back from the Under-20 World Cup. Duane Brown, this roster, everyone's available, except for Price and Abe.
And
Max.
Moyes.
And Bombi.
Oh, and Boyce is out, suspended.
Yeah,
Fair
with the dumbest red card in history of the
Yeah,
world.
that was pretty bad.
But that being said, Duane, how do you feel about this team? You can say we've seen the Rapids, but In the last month, we've had 11 players miss a game. How do you feel about this team going into this Orlando game?
I mean, I'd be crazy to say I'm not feeling better. I mean, we have almost a full squad. More options on offense with Yapi coming back. So, I mean, what's not to be happy about with that? You know, I know the bar is low for that. So,
in
like,
the basement.
don't get me wrong. Like, that is a low bar. But we are above the bar now. Like, we've hit the lowest bar, I think, of the season injury-wise. And with a full squad out.
Knock on wood, my guy.
Now we are way above that. So I think, you know, honestly, like, I'm just curious because it's like we got a different team now, a different set of players than we've seen the last month or more. So it's like, who's going to start? What's that going to look like?
Right.
Which players are going to be? I mean, it's honestly like the second half of the season is starting a new mini season now because there's a new roster to work with, you know. So it's more curiosity than anything for me.
Yeah, how about you?
To me, this feels like what's life going to be like next year?
Sure.
Because you don't have Jack. I hope Rubio doesn't play for the one reason that I don't think neither of those two guys are going to be back and be your core anymore. I think they'll be back and be great leaders if Rubio signs his contract, and if Jack is good to go, I don't think they're going to be the driving forces anymore. So this is kind of seeing what you have right now and what's going to work for the future. So what do? Maybe put Bassett and Gavon at the 10s. You let the wings go crazy with maybe you put Nicholson and Keegan on the other right wing back. Unfortunately, Moise is injured, so I thought he would have played a back three perfectly with Maxu and Danny, but we won't be able to see that. But then you put Cabral up top, and you got to tell him, like, this is probably the squad we're going into next year, and we got to figure out what we're going to do with it or not. And I think that's the closest you're going to get all year.
So do you feel 1 to 10, 10 being lock in 3 points right now, 1 being it's a 0 for sure, 0 point game for sure? Where's your head at?
It's probably like a 3 or 4.
So you're thinking hope for a draw?
Kind of, because I think the team is broken. I just think they're broken at this point of the season.
Do you think it's the maxing?
I think
because that's where the slide starts. Now
maxing.
that's also where the injuries spike. That's where the schedule gets tight, but that's where it starts, right? And it's tough to ignore the psychological aspect of looking on Twitter and seeing that you probably just lost a teammate forever.
No, I think it's the max thing 100%, and I think that's their mentality is not there, and it's fine. Like, I get it, but that's one reason I just don't want to use injuries anymore, because the two main guys that are out, which is Rubio and Jack, there's a chance they won't be back next year. So what's going to happen after injuries? Like, even if they do come back, are they going to be the same player? You got to figure out what's there, and this is the first step to it. So I'm about, like, let's hope that you can get a draw, maybe a win if you play really good defense. Maybe.
Which has been the calling card. They've been able to keep themselves in games. Now, some games were not, but clearly there's been a lot of close losses and draws compared to truly bad losses in this season. When you look at the record, having Cole back, got that nice goal at the end of the Columbus game.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh my God,
that was one of the nicest goals of the last couple of years for the Rapids.
Easily.
That was, there was some sauce on that. You are obviously the number one Cole person in
true.
Denver.
She's crazy for Cole.
Crazy for Cole.
I am
crazy for Goal Bassett. Is he ready to be the engine that this team has needed over this stretch?
Yes. I mean, who else? Yeah. Like, they need someone, so he's going to be it, because there is no one else. And
because there is no one else.
I mean, it's just like, he's still young, but I think, like, you can tell when he's on the field that he is leading them in some type of way. And he's also, in a good spot, like, literally on the field to be doing that. So, yeah, I think he's it. I'm excited. Cautiously optimistic.
To go there off of Logan's comment there, his work rate is probably the best I have seen it all season.
Since he got here.
Right? Maybe since he got here. That he didn't get on the score sheet, obviously. But I thought on Saturday he worked his tail off. And that's been my biggest thing with Bassett so far this season, was just You have to match the energy of the highest energy guy on the field, right? Because I think as Bassett goes, this team is going to go now that Max is gone. There's those kind of guys where it's like they're the energy of, they embody the whole energy of the team, right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
if you get an engaged Bassett who's working the press, who's running to receive passes, not waiting, not throwing up his hands if a pass goes awry, if you get that Bassett, I do think this offense can find something, can find anything.
He's an energy changer.
Because there's only going up, right? There's only going up. Can't get much worse than 13 goals in 17 matches.
It could be
14 goals, sorry. 14 goals in 17 matches.
it could be 14 goals in 18 matches.
Could,
So-
but is that worse when you're already at the bottom? It's not worse, right?
It's all up.
It's all
It's literally all up.
I'm sorry. I'm just like it's just really frustrating with this team
Of
right
course
now.
it is.
And I don't want to get into it, but I really don't blame anybody in that front office or the coaching staff. Like I really don't. I truly do blame ownership more than anything for
Sure.
the situation. But I'm trying to be positive. So
You don't have to be positive.
I'm gonna try, not for you, for my own sanity. It's not for anybody, but for Yaya. So if we're gonna talk about if they can be any better, Bassett scores a hat trick, and it goes 3-2, and Rapids win.
Dang.
Wow, that's quite a that's vacation Yaya.
I like Super Yaya referring to himself in the third person. That's awesome. I'm here for that.
Yaya is for Yaya. Yaya's just here for Yaya. That's all, man.
Wow. That's some Zlatan-esque work from you on the podcast. I love it. If
R.I.P.
you
to the legend. R.I.P. to his
retire in
career.
peace,
Oh my
obviously.
God.
Yeah, retire in peace, obviously.
We don't know yet.
We do.
I mean, he always comes back.
That's a good point. Charlotte, prediction for this goal scorers and the final score.
Okay, I think it's gonna be 1-1.
Okay.
I think I'm going Bassett.
Love it.
Yeah.
Downtown Duane Brown.
I'm so scared to pick us scoring goals.
Then don't.
So
No
but
nerf's gonna
we
be
are
right
better
here.
on the road than we are at home, which
By
is
a
Well, yeah.
margin.
Yeah.
just sad, and I hate it. So I will say also 1-1. Maybe a Keegan bomb. I might go, but I like what you said about Bassett. I think you're right. I'm gonna coin the phrase the flux capacitor as the energy and the battery for the team, because last weekend was notably different. You know, when you saw Bassett leading the team, he is that central battery that keeps things pushing.
And he has to be.
So if we see that again, then I think we could see a nice win there. I need to be pulled along and encouraged.
Sure.
How would you
I'm not
guys
quite there
feel
yet.
now that Yappy's back? You have Yappy at the 9, a double 10 with Bassett and Galvan, a left wing back as either Nicholson or Barrios. You got Keegan on the other side in your back 3.
Let's go.
I think
I'm
that's
for it.
fun. I
Yeah.
think that's just gonna be chaos at the top, and I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm for it.
That would be the funnest
I'm rooting
thing to
for
me.
chaos at this point.
That's all you can root for.
That's deep. I don't think you know how deep that is. But yeah, what's your prediction, Mitch?
I want to say 2 goals are scored. I really want to say 2 goals are scored by the Rapids, but I think 2 goals are scored total. It's 1-1. And I am going with my guy, Charlotte's guy. Bassett gets 1 for us. 1-1 draw on the road. Then take a nice 11-day break. Rest up.
God, wouldn't it be nice to hit the break with a win?
It would be great.
God, that would be great. Would love that.
Go in with a win.
Let's do that, Rapids.
Yeah.
Get
Let's do
11
that.
days off. Come back healthy into the Leagues Cup. The stretch before Leagues Cup.
Let's
into
do
it.
that.
I'm into it. All right, guys. That's going to do it for us. Yaya, plug us out of here.
DNV_Rapids. Follow us there on Twitter. Give us a 5-star review wherever you hear this podcast, whether it be on Apple. Shout out Apple TV and MLS, by the way. Season Pass, get that if you haven't. Spotify and all of that. Follow us there. It's a lot of fun. Remember, there's also a podcast. We are just audio. So if you can't catch the live show, go hear it on your way home or something.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. Besides that, have nothing else.
Duane?
I'm good. I don't want to bump anything. just want to shout out to Charlotte. Great work. We enjoyed having you here at DMVR. Congratulations on graduation.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck at college out there in
Two-time state
California. So
you.
we're excited for you. Great work on today's show.
Thank you. Thanks
made
for
it
having
much
me.
better having you here.
Thank you.
All right, guys. You know what? Become a diehard member at thednvr.com. Like and subscribe on YouTube. And you know what it is, baby. Same way. Whether we're winning or losing, it is up the pits.